Hello everyone. Today we're going to be doing a video on how to solve a Terraminx. This is my first cubing video, so leave a like and subscribe if you're interested to see more videos in the future. This is a Terraminx. It is a 7x7 version of the Megaminx, which is an official WCA puzzle. The only difference is that it's obviously a lot bigger, but there's a few other things to notice as well. You can solve the Terraminx here just like a 4x4. A 4x4 is just like a 3x3, except it has an extra piece in the middles right here. So like if you look at a 3x3, you have one edge, and here you have two edges representing one edge. So in a 4x4, you group the pieces up so that there's two pieces next to each other, and then you keep the corners, you make the centers like this, and then just using this as an M turn, for say, you can solve it just like a normal 3x3. Now Terraminx is exactly the same. These 5 pieces right here all represent one center right here, and then this big massive cluster in the middle represents this center right here. So I will be doing a full live solve of this cube, showing you different tips and tricks along the way, so that when after this video, you too will be able to solve a Terraminx. So let's go. First, we're going to look at these pieces right here. These are like the second to the middle, like edges, you could say, and you want to group them up together. So like this one right down here, you can move the edge, so then you've got 2. But you also want to pay attention to these corners right here as well. So you always start with one edge, and then the next thing you do is you go and you find a group of 2. So like one edge with a corner, and the corners are the ones that are right adjacent to the centers right here. So you would find one of these, and now they might not always be connected. So like this one over here, this one doesn't have any corner on it, but what you can do is you can look around the cube and you're like, oh well, there's a corner right there. You rotate the top so that when you turn this piece up, it goes right there. So there you go, you have 2 pieces like that. So now this is on the blue side, but we want to connect it to the white side over here. So let's move it a little bit closer. We're going to move it closer to the white side. But you notice that bumped out that piece there, moving it to the green side. So you can move this piece out of the way. And there's that. And then here we go. You've got 2. So now we've got a larger spot right here. Now you actually want to find the same 2-piece shape that you did before. So let's see. Here's an edge right there. Now where is it? Here we go. We'll move it to the bottom. Move this one to the bottom. That matches, so that's good. Did not mess up the white by doing that turn, so we're good there too. Okay, we'll move it to the tan, because the tan is a little closer. And we can actually move it to the red too. This is still a little closer to the white. And now what we want to do is insert it next to here. So you want to test each spot to see. So like that isn't good because you got a corner right there. You want to match it right alongside of it. But if we turn that, that's good. Now we want to find another group of 2, either to go there or there. So let's do that really fast. Oh look, we already got one right next to the white too, so that's nice. What we can do is tilt that one up, and now as you can see there's only 3 spots left, which means we're actually going to make a group of 3 this time. There should only be 2 corners left on here. We can do one right there, and then there's another one right here, so we'll move that to the bottom and go up. And now just rotate the white around, move it up, and that's the first spot right there. Now what we want to do is fill out this outer edge, because remember we're trying to get it so that it is the center right here. So the center goes all the way up until these edges. So let's start by looking at the pieces. So we're going to have middle ones right here. These ones are like in kind of making that like star shape. Then you've also got pieces that go right there, and those are opposite. So this piece is, these pieces that go here will never go here, and vice versa. So you've got to be careful how to insert those. But this is just the normal edge corner, just like this one. It's just farther up. So we could insert these two, but there's this little piece right here, because you kind of want to do the same concept as earlier, where you have one of these, because it goes out to like this like shape right here. So then you want to fill out this little corner so that it can have a nice smooth shape. So we're gonna kick this one back out, and let's check and see any pieces. So this piece right here, it actually goes up nicely, and now we can turn it around like that. So now we have the same similar shape that we had before in the video, but now we're going to do a group of 4. So there's going to be this piece, this piece, this piece, and that piece. We're going to find a group of those. So let's see. Here is a white piece. Now we're going to find the rest. So I think that this piece can connect to there, so I'm going to move it down. And let's see. Okay, good. It connects. So then now let's see, where's another one? Okay. So we could insert this piece right here. And if we did that, but this also is going to kick out this corner right here, so we actually just want to turn this one slice like that. Or you can do it kind of like that type of move, since sometimes it's difficult to just turn one middle layer. But that, oh, we messed up this piece, so we're gonna have to push that back down, and we're gonna have to do a special algorithm for this. So what we're gonna do is we're going to go up, but since we have to move that piece back down, we're gonna shift this over before we move it back down to keep that shape and to keep this shape. That algorithm will appear a lot in the future. So let's keep going. Well, it looks like this piece matches. Now we got our group of 4. The white, oh, but we messed up the white, so we're gonna have to move that one out of the way before moving the white down. Okay, now let's see, which side does this fit? That doesn't work because you got a corner right there. It's a little off-centered, so we're gonna do a U2, and then we're gonna match that up. So now we've got a group of 4 here, a group of 4 here that we still need to do. See, there's 2 centers right there. And then, okay. Doesn't mess up the white if we move that up. Now let's try this one over here. Oh, there we go. So a group of 3 right there. It's very nice. Now now we actually are starting to make a group over here, so let's try not disturbing that, just as a way to make it go a little faster. Now we're going to move that one up. This piece right there. There we go. It's a group of 4. Let's see which way does it fit. Doesn't fit that way because that corner just doesn't really match up very well. We actually want to go right here because you want to make it a nice good group like that. So now we've got just this little bit right there that we need to do. And now we remember that we had that edge right there, so we can keep that. Oh, and look, we got 2 next to each other. So we got the white over there. We can do that. Now we've already got a group of 4. But doing that messes it up. We don't want to have a empty corner right there, so we're actually gonna do that. And now we've only got 1 line, which means that we're gonna make a group of 5 to go right there. So let's go find a corner. See, I see a white piece there, 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 and there. I don't see a corner yet. I mean, an edge. Here we go. So the white is on this side. Let's see. Let's rotate this around until, oh, there we go. We got a corner right there. White is right there. And now we're gonna mess up white by turning this down. So we're gonna move it and turn it back up. And now we've preserved our white face. So here we go. Then we are going to this piece is good to move up. Now, where's another one? Oh, okay. I'm going to turn this one on this side, because if I turned it on this side, we'd mess up the white in the back right there. It's just a tip. And now, these two pieces are the same, so it's not going to go on this side of it. So it's probably going to go on this side, so we can just tilt that up. Now, there's only one piece missing. Let's go find that white piece. It is right... Oh man, where'd it go? Very evasive piece. It's probably just somewhere really obvious, but I can't seem to spot it. Oh man. Aha! Sorry about that. We got a white piece right there. So we're gonna tilt that up. Now we can insert it like that and like that. Now this big group of pieces represents the center right there. So this is definitely a lot bigger than a Megaminx, but it's nothing too difficult. So there's the white side. Now what I like to do is I like to solve these 5 sides, and then I solve these 5 with the gray. So let's do the red next. So I'm basically going to do the same thing as before. We have one edge in there, and then from now on I'm going to do something like this to insert. So we're going to go up to insert the piece, over, and then back down, just to make sure that we don't mess up anything along the way. So just a side note, nope, that doesn't work. Okay, none of those red edges work. So then let's go and find one that will. Oh, there we go. Actually, I messed up. We only want 2 pieces right here, so I can just insert that. Okay, we still got the white. Now there's a piece right there. We can go. Oh, that's wrong. Let's see. What about? If we put it on this side, no, it's because I got the wrong one, because this one is the one we're working on. I was trying to insert it onto the top, so we want one for the bottom. So let's find a red edge that is the closer one to the center piece right here. So let's see, here we go. So now we can look for one of those corners that I was trying to insert before. Look, I think, yeah, there's one right there. So to bring this one to the orange face, I'm going to do the same algorithm as if I was inserting it to bring it closer to the red side. And now I can insert it like that. And now, where's another one? Where's the red? Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to need to bring this one to the blue side. So I'm going to go up, over, down. Okay. And now I'm going to insert it up. And now you want to turn it to a spot that's empty when you go down, because you don't want to remove a piece that you've already inserted. So here's another red piece. It actually already has 2 on it. So we can go to shortest route to the red spot. Okay, now I'm seeing this red piece right here. So I'm actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert and make this a group of 3 and then put this in later. So I'm going to do that, keep this group of 3 around, and then I'm going to go find another red edge, and then I'll insert that later just to preserve time. So here we go. There's that. And now I need to find an edge right there. Okay, so I want to make, if I try to insert it up like that, I would be kicking this piece out from the piece underneath. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it down so that when I go up, over, down, I keep the bar right there. Okay, next, one more. Where do we have a piece? We've got the bar right there, the group of 2 there, the group of 2 there. I must have, there we go. So we already had one over here from earlier. This is the one I just made, and then this is the one that I need to insert at the very end. So it actually ended up pretty complicated process, but you don't have to do it this way. I probably won't do this in the later centers. It just happened to work out this way, so if this is a little too complex, then I'll give you a little bit of an easier way of doing it the next time. So just let me insert there. And now this is an interesting situation here. We have a red piece that we need to insert here, but I don't just want to go straight up because it'll mess pieces around over here. So what you want to do is, this is kind of like in a 4x4 where you want to kick out one of the centers going back there, rotate it around to an empty spot so that when you go back down, the piece goes with it. So that's the first part of red. Now I'll do the second part. Okay, there we go. Now I think, there we go, we got a group of 3 right there. Where's the red? Now, I know for sure that I'm not disturbing anything by moving this blue piece, so I'm just going to rotate the red piece around. And then, like that. Same thing that we're doing with the white earlier. So now, oops. Now I'm gonna move this red piece to this one right here, to the bottom layer, so that I can put it back into the top where the red is, right next to where we should be. And then we're gonna insert it so that it fits with the group. Okay. Now we've got an extra corner right here. I mean an edge. And now this group of 2 pieces can be inserted all at once. So that's good. And then let's see if this piece will fit. So I'd run right here. It looks like it's the right kind of piece. So then I'll just move it up. It's a group of 4 to put right there. We're almost done with the red side. Okay, now let's find another one. Okay, we can do that. Oops, why is you turning? Okay, and now I wouldn't recommend inserting a corner before you do the middle, because you've got to do like a slice move instead of just moving the entire group of pieces. But if you spot it, sometimes it can be faster, because like you're gonna have to move it up and then back down to keep everything, and then go down and then back up, which can sometimes be hard for speed. But if speed is what you're going for, you don't want to do that. Though it depends on how long it takes you to find the pieces. Sometimes that can be the longest part. Okay, so we've actually got a group like that. Funny, I was just saying it's not ideal, and then one just pops up. Okay, now we don't want to insert that one because we're going to make a group of 5. And it would be even worse because we're going to have 2 pieces that are going to need to insert weirdly. So I'm actually going to go and see if I can find... No, that one's not right. Oh, what about this one? This red piece right there. Could be the one we are looking for. Yep, it is. We got a group of 3. Where's the last red piece to insert? Now, sometimes the red piece might actually be in here, so you gotta check there. Oftentimes, I'll be looking over the whole cube, and it'll be where it should be in the color. So just be aware of that when you're solving. Okay, I kicked a piece up here, so and I'm gonna insert another one first because I got this one over here. It'll be easier to do that one and then that one. So we got the line right there, and then we're gonna do what I did with the white one, where we kick one into the back there and solve it like that. So we got red and white. Okay, I'm going to solve the blue next. Piece right there. Let's see. Group of 2. Move it up. There you go. move that piece to the top layer. We got our group right there. Now we just need to make a group of 3. So I'm going to move that piece to the top layer so I can move it back down. Oh, and there we go. Oops. We got our last piece, and then we'll just move it up into the blue side, just like that. Okay, I've got to start right there on another section of the outer layer of the circle, or hexagon, I guess you could call it. Now, we don't want to do that because we want a group of 3 first, so I need to find, aha, there's our group of 3. There is our insert. Now, this is what I was talking about earlier. We've actually got quite a few pieces and spots where they should not be. So I'm actually going to remove some of those just so that I can insert a little more effectively. And I guess none of those pieces are the ones I need, which is alright. I can always find one some other spot. Here's a tip as well. If you're trying to find one on the edges of like the group of 3 right there, any piece like this one that's directly diagonal to a corner will always go in one of those 2 spots. So if I see a piece like this, I know that I can put it here or here, like that. And then like with this one, I know that it's going to go where this green piece is, which I don't want because I don't want a group of 5, I just want a group of 4. So if you see one that's like in these 2 spots right there, you know that it will go either here or here. It doesn't go in both, which is unfortunate. But that also eliminates the possibility of parodies. The Terraminx actually has no parodies. Fun fact. I don't actually think that many Megaminxes have parodies except for the Master Kilominx, which is interesting. So, yeah, there's a corner one right there, and I don't want a corner one. There's also a corner one there and there and there. Oh my goodness. Where is a non-corner piece? Oh, here we go. This one will work in either this spot or this spot. Since there's so many corners around, I might as well insert one of them, because I need a group of 4. Oh, and it looks like these 2 pieces are already together, so I might as well insert them as a group of 5. My blue face is not quite done yet, but we can deal with that, especially since we're using the up, over, down algorithm, which means that I will not mess up that group of 5 along the way, which is nice. Man, none of these pieces want to go in right. Well, I guess I can just kick them out and then insert them this way. Oops. Yeah, usually with my up and down algorithms, I usually turn all 3 faces, but sometimes I only have to turn 2 like this one. But usually, just for gripping, I turn the entire thing. It's kind of my default way of doing that algorithm, although you really only have to turn the face that you're inserting. But it's sometimes useful to do them all. Okay, there's our group of 4. And here we have it. We only need one more group of 4, and then our group of 5, which we've preserved down here, which which means that there should only be 4 blue pieces left to work with. Where is that? Here we go. We'll not insert that one yet. Let's see if we can find a better one to insert first. There we go. And now we can insert that corner without having to do an unprofitable algorithm. Here we go. So now we've got 2 pieces right here. We want to insert the 4 first, so I'm going to move the 4 up. Move it like that, and now I can turn this face without messing up anything, so I'm just going to rotate it. Now, as if you rotate like these outer faces, they'll never mess up any of the middle ones. Like I can turn these as much as I want, and I'll never mess up one of these. Which is why just rotating like pieces around isn't gonna do anything. But when you do a layer in, then you're messing up other things. So that should be helpful when inserting edges in the future. So here we've got a group of 3. I usually group them in clusters. Like I wouldn't do, say, the red and then the yellow. Usually it's good to start with one and then do the circumference of it. So I'll do the yellow one next. There, I put a corner in there, so I'm just going to move it out just so that it's not confusing later. There's our circle for the first layer. I moved out all of the yellow pieces from the edges just so it's less confusing. I see that there's a group of 2 here, so let's... Oh, thought there was 2 yellows. Never mind that. I'm just checking to make sure I didn't mess up anything else. There, now we have a group of 2 that we can make use of. Okay, we've got like the, I guess it kind of looks like a crown shape. Could remember it that way. Okay, here's another group of 4, which we can insert there, and now we've only got one more before we're done with the yellow. Uh-oh. Looks like I might have made a mistake somewhere along the way. Let's correct that really fast. I think I must have forgotten to make sure that I wasn't messing it up every now and again. Something you can often run into when solving a Terraminx. Yeah, see, I just did that to the red. Okay, my bad. Now let's continue on with the yellow. We've only got one part left. There's your center. There's a good amount of yellow pieces up here. Okay, nothing got messed up. Now we're gonna move this piece. Okay, and now, there we go. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We just got 2 more left on the first half. Let's work on the pink. Sometimes the longest part can be moving a piece up to get inserted. Can be advantageous to plan how close your pieces are to the center that you're going to be inserting them into. If you're going for any personal records. I mean, really, the concept of a Terraminx is very similar to that of like any large cube. The learning curve is not very much, though it can look like a very daunting puzzle. If you were to buy one, I would recommend getting a stickerless version, because many people have said that the stickers will often fall off of theirs when they're solving it, and it won't look as good. So you can keep that in mind. Okay, we got the crown shape again. I'm going to move out that piece. There we go. I guess it's not... Oh yeah, there we go. Crown shape. Now, I did just move out a piece. There we go. Some there. We got an edge there. Let's move that up. There we go. And now, I can insert the 3 pieces. It's very nice when that can happen. And now we just need one more pink one. Let's Let's try. Oh, this one will probably work. Oh, never mind. There we go. Now this does make it a group of 5. So I might leave this one near the pink piece. Just very close to it. Because I have 3 more pieces to insert, so I'm gonna leave that one right there. I am going to move this pink piece out, so I'm gonna go do a slice move and bring it back down so that that piece can be used in another piece like this one. Because I don't want any pink pieces on here, just for simplicity. That one can go down. And now, let's see. There we go. We got that. Got a group of 4. Now, since I built it right next to the pink layer, we've got that piece inserted. With our 5 over here, we just need a group of 4 again. So here we are. There we go. No pink pieces here. No pink pieces here or here. There is one right there, so I guess I'll move that one down and insert it. And now I'm actually, when I move this one up, I'm gonna move this one all the way back around because it's useful to have this pink piece a little closer, because now I can insert down like that. There we go, our group of 4. Not quite very close to the pink. We've got to move it up a layer, but close enough. Now we can move our edge down and then up. So there we go. We have 5 around in like a circle before we go onto this half. So let's do green. Got the one right there, so then I just need to make a group of 2. Okay, going right there. Okay, I'll move out. I'll move out all the non-lime green pieces before moving on. We've got the start of our group of 3, but since it's already got a corner right there, I'm gonna leave that be for a group of 4. Let's insert this group of 3. And now I have a group of 4 right here that I made. So now we can insert them both at the same time. Now we've got the start of another group of 4. Okay. Okay, there we go. And here we have a group of 4. Now we have only 2 spots left. There's 3. Just need 1 more green piece. Let's see if this one will work. Okay. And there we have it. Only 1 more to go for the green side, the lime green face. Okay. Not quite the right piece. It does go on that side though. Any green? There's a green right there. And now I believe there was only 1 spot left, so here you go. This will finish our group of 5. And now since I want this to go down here, I'm gonna, instead of shifting it out of the way, I'm gonna put the whole thing in there so that I can make the transition smoother and quicker. Okay, here's our group of 5 going all the way around in the blue face. Now all you have to do is the light blue face and everything around that. So let's begin. From here on out, it's not as ideal to kick things out of this area. It's best just to leave it alone, because it can be pretty hard to keep all of the color out of its own area, given how little spots are left for the pieces to be. So while that helped with finding pieces earlier, now it might be a little more of a hindrance. Oops. Okay, there's our group of 3. Okay, now all we need to do is the outer spot. Okay, there's our crown shape. Okay, only one spot left. Where is a... There we go. So if you go and try to insert a corner and you get something like that, what you can do is pull it back down, move this one and that one, and now it'll go up in a spot where there's not a gap. So that can be helpful. I'm gonna bring both of those up. Now these should fit into this blue piece right here. And then there we go. Now we just need to do the corners around it. Centers, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do orange. It starts to get easier to find pieces, kind of like when you're trying to build a really large puzzle. The more pieces you get in, you just start to find the pieces that fit together a lot more easily. It's very similar with the Terraminx, building a jigsaw puzzle. A lot of repetition and a lot of putting things where they belong. Here's a group of 3. Start pulling pieces from the bottom, just so that I don't have to go find them later. Okay. I'm going to move that edge onto the top layer so that I can build my piece. And now I know I just put that piece there, but I'm actually going to move it out for a better one, and I'm going to make a group of 5 out of it. So now there's no more pieces over here. And now I don't want to use the group of 5 yet, so I'm going to make another group of pieces. And now this is ready to go. I'll move the 5 so that it's ready to go into the orange as quickly as possible. And now we'll make not another group of 5, so I'll just move 1 down. Now it seems like there's only one more piece to go, so we're going there you go. We've got a group of 4 right there to go into the orange, group of 5 right there to go into the orange. And there should only be one more piece of orange somewhere. Right there. So we're going to move that piece of that orange out. I'm going to insert this orange group of 4. So then when I insert that, it doesn't mess it up. Bring it to the top. Insert it. And now spin the cube around. And there you go. I just inserted the edge I had in this purple area. When I was working over here, I had kept it over here. Now when you're picking your next corner, center, my goodness, you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 options, but you do not want to pick, say, this one or that one, because then you're going to leave a piece right here, and at the very end you're going to have to say swap this and these pieces. That's going to be a lot harder than swapping these two pieces. So if I started here, I either want to go in a circle that way or I want to go in a circle that way. So I'm going to pick gray. I'm going to leave that group of 3 for now. Now I'm going to bring it back. Okay. You got a good group of 4 right there. There you go. Move the group of 3 up. Make the crown. Then a group of 4. Then another group of 4. Move this block of 2 to the bottom. There we go. Okay, now there's just one last piece to go. There, whoops. Okay, now let's check, see if anything's been damaged. Nope, we've only got 3 left. Let's do the tan one. Now in this instance, I had a group of edges around like this, so I can actually insert a 3, and it still works just as well. In case it ever looks like that, you don't have to do like a very strict pattern for inserting these. It's just you don't want to get yourself confused either. Oops, I'm missing a piece. Uh-oh. Looks like I messed up the red a little bit. Okay, now we've got the last tan one. There we go. Got the tan, red, pink, blue, white, yellow, orange, green, gray. All you got left are two centers. And this is the hardest part, probably, of the whole cube, honestly. You gotta permutate everything. It's kind of a big word, but it's not too hard in concept. So what you're gonna do is, at the beginning, is you're gonna try and get these edges. So this one and that one, you're gonna try and make like a star shape. So like I can insert this green edge right there, no problems there. Now I can kick one out, move it over, put it back in, and then don't want to move it up, over, and then down, because you're going to move it out, so I can do something like that. Then same thing over here, we're going to move the little ones out. There's only one more left. Okay, so now we've got like our mini stars right here. You got this. And since you know all these are solved, you know that the purple is going to look pretty similarly. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the algorithm to swap all these like groups of edges right here. So it works like this. It's like if I have a piece right, let's see. let's say I want to swap this one with that one. We're going to go down, over, down on the same side that you went this way, over, up, over, up. Now that did not mess up anything. And now it doesn't look like I did much, but you're gonna do that. The goal is to get, if you're trying to swap right here, you want most of these to be solved. So we're gonna do it a few times and see, and kind of test what it's gonna do. So like, I'm gonna try doing this one and that one. Because what the idea is that you move the piece down. This is the one that you want to swap. We're gonna move it over here, and now you want the piece that you're swapping it with to fit into that hole, so that when you go over and up, you've done that, and then when you go over and up, you've done that. Now we did this one, but it kind of messed up that one a little bit, so you kind of want to be strategic on how you do it. So since this one's completely solved, I'm going to put this big group into this hole right there. So I'm going to turn both of them down, over, up, over, up. And now we've got a group like that. And now let's see. I can swap this one right here with that one right there. It didn't actually change this one. It did change this one. So you kind of just, you kind of gotta wait for like an opportune moment. It works best when you're trying to swap one from the inner layer or the outer layer that has like just one like in between something. But it really only works if you've got something to replace it with on this side. It's like if this side didn't have a green one there, when I moved it over, it wouldn't have gone back in correctly. Let's swap these two. Okay. Now we can swap these two right here. Okay, now I got a group of two. So now if you want to swap a group of two, you want to do one on this side, but you want to do both on the other side. Okay, now we can swap these. Okay, there's only one group left. And now you want to swap these two, but it's gonna unswap something else. But what you want to happen is you want to end up having to swap two things that are directly adjacent to each other. So these ones are kind of off a little bit, so we're gonna swap them. Just checking to make sure nothing else is scrambled. And now we're gonna do it again. We're just gonna swap okay, and now we're gonna swap these two. There we go. All the centers are solved. Now, this next part is interesting. It's very, very similar to the 4x4. It's like in a 4x4, say you want to swap, you want to join the centers. So like you got a center here and a center here. So what you do is you move it together, then you put in one that can be pushed back, so then you keep all the centers right. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. We're going to put something together, move a new one in, and then push it back. So let's see, we got a blue and yellow right here. Let's find another blue. Actually, it's best to do the white first, so just for visual recognition. So let's do red and white. So we've got a red and white right there. So if we move this down, if we move it over, first of all, it's not exactly touching, so it's not ideal, and it's not going to match either. So we don't want to do that. Let's try and find another red and white. Okay, this one is touching, but it's flipped, but we can fix that. So this is the algorithm. If you want to flip this around, you go up, over, down on this side, and then twice. Oops. Sorry, I told you the algorithm wrong. So it go up this way, over, down, and then twist it around. And now we can do it. So we turn it over, you move another one in that can be switched around, and then you do it. And now we've got two. So now this is going to be a very long process of swapping in pieces. Now there's 30, I believe there are 30 total edges in a Megaminx, but this does not take forever. Usually I can do this in about 20 minutes. Okay, now that's kind of what we're looking for. It's just like on a 3x3 with the centers, or like a Megaminx, it's the red and white. This whole group represents a red and white center around the middles. So let's do yellow and white. See if we can find a yellow and white spot. There you go. So now I know that when I turn this, when I rotate this in, it's going to be on the bottom part, and it needs to be on the top two spots in order for it to be able to insert this way. So I'm gonna go into the flipping algorithm so that when I rotate it around, it'll be in the right spot. There's a yellow one. There's also a yellow one. I just need to find my group of three. Here we go. So the group of three is over here. I'm just going to move these kind of near to each other. And now I know that the yellow one, they're right here and here. Okay, but that's not right, so I'm going to need to flip it, and then do the merge together. Now, since this yellow's over here and this is over here, we can actually do 2 turns, and just make sure you do 2 turns back. Oops. There's that. There's a lot of blue and yellow and white right there. There's actually 3 blue and white. Let's see, 4. So there's all the blue and white, but I just don't know where the center is. So it should be around here. So let's just find one of the numerous. And after a while of doing this, you'll kind of get used to how they all work together and like when you're inserting and things like that. Okay, I see a few green. And here's the center. So I'll just move that up. Okay, now here's an interesting situation. If you get something like this one wants to go in here, all you do is you do a slice move to pair them, insert a bad edge, and then do a slice move back. Okay, so we've got green, yellow, red, and blue, but we just need purple. So here's a purple, there's a purple, there's also a purple. Usually I like to put my fingers on it just to keep track while I'm looking for the other piece, so that I can move the center fairly close to them. Where's that last purple and white to go here? Right there. And now it's the same thing I showed you just a minute ago. You do slice move, insert, slice move back. Okay. Now, after we do the whites, let's do the gray. I see a lot of gray and pink. Here we go. Okay, we're getting the gray and pink one almost done. Should be gray and pink piece somewhere around here. Well, I can't find a gray and pink one, but that's alright, because if you have trouble finding a piece, you can always start on another center, and when it comes back later, then you can continue. So let's just do some light blue and gray. See how that works out. Now I don't want to insert that. It's not complete yet, but I don't want to insert that one because it'll mess it up. And I'll just make it harder down the road. Where's another, here you go. It's like every time I ask where a piece is, it just pops up. Okay, we got 3 down, 2 to go. Looks like we're going to need to swap this one. I mean, not swap, it's more like you're flipping it around. Okay, and then just every now and again, it's good to check if you've messed up in your centers, because that'd be really annoying. You do this whole thing and then you mess up your center. Okay, looking for the last blue and gray piece. And there we have it, blue and gray. And now I still haven't seen a gray and pink. So let's just go on to gray and tan. There's already a pair set up for that. The slice move one again. Oh, look. The gray and pink piece has turned up right there. So we can finish off the algorithm. And now there's actually just... It's getting a little more difficult to find pieces to swap, which will happen as you go through. We still have enough that it's not a big problem yet. Now, I was working on the gray and tan before I saw the gray and pink one, so let's find... Here we are. Yeah, I was only one piece away. And this is the last piece. Now, let's see, we haven't done... What other gray pieces have we not done? It doesn't look like we've done gray and orange, so where's the gray and orange center? It seems to be right there. So then, let's see. We'll just kick that piece out of there. Let's not do that one yet. Let's try this one. Because I don't like doing the slice move algorithms. Okay, now we can do this one. Okay, just a few more to go. Okie dokie. Now it only has one more gray and orange piece to go. Now we can do our slice move algorithm. Okay, gray, gray, gray. Now it seems like we're missing the gray and green. Let's do the gray and the green one. Okay. Now we're missing two gray and green pieces. One of them is right here. Or at least it was. Ah, there we are. We'll move it around to right here. But then we're gonna have to flip this one right there and move the gray and green in to right there. So you only got one more spot. Just rotate it around until we find a gray and green piece. If we don't, we can always start a new one. Oh, here we are. Okay, this needs to go there. do slice move algorithm. Neither one of these can be swapped, so we'll just move one around. Oh, look at that. We got yellow and green. We can fix that one up really fast, especially since it's the center is right there. Okay, we'll swap that one. Move both over. And there's that. And now I see this one too. Goes right there. So now we've only got one yellow and green piece left. And that piece just happens to be there. There we go. We just solved that. So you can kind of see how it's going to be. Like you're going to have it connect right there with the corners. Now let's see. Where are another group of gray pieces? We actually might have done all the gray ones. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've done all the gray, we've done all the white. So now after I do the gray and the white, I kind of just go to random ones. Because it's kind of hard to classify them after that, because the gray and white, the gray pieces and the white pieces, they're always adjacent to something. So then there'll only be, like, say, 4 groups of blue left, and then it just gets confusing. So I just do whatever one I want after this. I'm working on the red and blue right now. I usually seem to end up doing this one pretty soon after I'm done with the gray and the white. Okay, so I see 2 of them right there. Okay, so I know that red and blue piece is down here, but now it should be right back there. No, let's just insert this one. Now we can insert that one, and now there should only be one more left. There we go. We'll do a slice move to insert it. Now where's another advantageous looking one? Purple and orange. We've got a group of 2 right there. We don't want to accidentally mess that one up later, so let's just insert it now. And now there should be one more left. Sorry, 2 more left. Aha! Got purple and orange. Right here, we're just gonna move it around into position. And there we have it. Purple and orange right there. And there we go. Purple and orange. Now this is interesting. We've got green and orange, but they're not in the right spot. So let's find a green and orange that would go there. And we'll just move the whole thing over. Shift it out of the way and move it back, so then this stays preserved. And then we can take this pair right here, and now we can put this in the right spot, like that. So now there's only one piece left, and let's just find that green and orange one. Okay, and now look for another corner or edge, I suppose you would say. Oh, look, red and green. Where's the red and green center edge? Right here. It's flipped. Okay. I don't see the fifth one, but there's the fourth one. We're gonna have to do a slice move to insert it. Where did it go? I spotted it. And then it's correct in the back there. Now, there should only be a few more left. We'll start with this green and light blue edge. We'll start working on it, and just like with the centers, it gets a little easier and easier. Not quite as easy, because you still kind of have to look around the whole cube to find the pieces, but definitely a lot better, because everything's a little more categorized, you could say. Oops. So let's do, got 4 out of the 5. Hopefully my cube isn't going below the screen. I apologize if it's not the best view for some of these algorithms, but there's so many edges, it should be alright. If a few of them aren't easy to see. Okie dokie. Just a few more for this red and tan pair. If I can find the red and tan piece. Aha, here it is. Now I just need to actually find. Okay. Okay, now, see, if I were to do this algorithm to swap this piece right there, there's none of these are good. So I'm actually not going to swap it. I'm going to shift a piece into the back beforehand so that when I do swap it, there's something to swap with. So make sure you don't like accidentally just put a solved one in, because you would have to then resolve that later. I actually think I might have done that with the yellow and green one, but I can't be for sure. So I'm looking for purple and blue. Cannot seem to find it. Here we are. Inserting it in like usual. Turn that the wrong way. Now let's find another one. Oops. Yeah, like I said earlier, you can turn these layers, but you can't do that without messing up the centers. So you gotta make sure you always undo what you did when you do that. But like I can turn these outer layers as much as I want. It's very, very similar to when you solve a 4x4 or a 5x5 for that matter. Okay. I'll work on the green and tan next. Oops, I gotta put a bad edge in the back so I can swap. Thankfully, this cube has not popped yet. A lot of people have had large cubes pop when they're solving it. That would be annoying. Okay, got just a few more edges left and one more mini edge for the green here. Green and tan, I mean. Okay. Let's see. Now I'm gonna pair. Never mind, I'm not. They didn't match. I'm gonna do the yellow and blue next. The yellow and dark blue. Oops, I switched that. I flipped that edge for no reason. Okay. We'll pair it, and I actually noticed a blue edge in here. It's actually right there, but it doesn't go on this side, so I'm just gonna flip this around. Swap. Now, we got one right there. And there's a blue edge a blue and yellow edge right there. We'll do a slice move to insert. Now there's just one spot left to go. And every time you think that there's not a lot of edges left, then you flip the cube over and there's all sorts of scrambled edges. There's definitely a lot in a Terraminx. I mean, it's a Megaminx. I've got Terraminx on the brain right now. Okay, here we go. We're gonna swap this one around. And then... Okay, and now we're almost there. We've got one right there, the other part right here. Now there shouldn't be many more to solve. Let's try the purple and yellow. Now I'm going to do a double insert. Only one more purple and yellow. Okay. Let's do green and pink. Oops, I gotta insert a bad edge. I'll flip. You know, I'll just insert this one. And then rotate this one around. I need to insert a bad edge first. It's always my problem. I always try to swap an edge and then realize that there's none to swap with. Now that I did that, let's see. There's a... You're not sure. Let's do this one. Put a bad edge in. We'll swap this one around. Okay. Now we've only got a few left. Put a bad edge in. Swap. And there should only be one orange and blue. Okay. Now, hopefully there's not a lot left. Hopefully the sound of the Rubik's Cube is coming through in the audio well. Get some nice sound effects. A lot of people think that Rubik's Cubes and sound effects in YouTube videos have a satisfying sound to them. We're very close. I don't see a lot more edges to do. In fact, there might only just be 3. Okay, now these are the only 2 left. Now this part is kind of tricky just to visualize, but the idea is that you're going to be swapping pieces back and forth. So like, you move one over, for instance, and then you flip this edge but you keep everything else like in its spot. It's like this is all going to go back to like its original position when you turn these 2 layers. But it kind of changed around. Like these orange pieces were on the top before, but I've rotated them to the bottom. So like, let's see, because you can still obviously flip them normally. You want to push light colors into light colors. So like, I want to push orange pieces into orange pieces. So let's try that. We're going to go, it's up on the left side, or right side, up on the left side, over, down on the right side, down on the left side, and then you push everything back. Okay, so now we've successfully kind of swapped around these 2. It's like the idea is, because like, right here, nothing that we can do is going to solve it in one algorithm. So we can just do a random turn. We don't want to do 2 turns because that'll mess up like the 3 in the middle. So we'll just do like a top turn, then go do the algorithm. Oops. And then turn back. Okay, now we've solved these two, so now I believe if we flip both of them over, so we're focusing on the pink one now, and if we push the pink one out of the way, that'll help us. Interesting. So what I did right there didn't actually do anything. So what I'm going to try next is I'm going to try pushing an orange into an orange. Or actually, because you can kind of predict what's going to happen. It's like if I did this, and if I flipped this piece right here, what would it look like when I put this piece back? So if I flip this piece, it's going to be orange on this side and yellow on this side. And when this goes back, it's going to be orange, yellow, and then on the bottom it's going to be yellow, orange. So I don't want to do that. So let's try, what happens if I put orange on the top? Like that. If I do that, if this gets flipped, you automatically know this is bad, because then this is going to go on the bottom and we're going to have a flipped edge. So what if you did something like this? Looks like this will be good, but you're actually going to be swapping this, and then the pink is going to go back. So we don't want to do that. So then let's try pink on pink. If I put the pink this way, flipped this, when this tan goes back, it'll be tan on this side, and that'll solve it. So like if you go like that, and then push it back, there we go. The whole cube has solved edges, and now you solve it just like a Megaminx. So you start by making the cross, or I suppose the pentagon. And now a lot of people do a bunch of cool algorithms on a Megaminx, but I still use the beginner's method for Megaminx. So all of you professional Megaminxers, if that's how you say it, this is probably not the best way that you can do it. But it'll work for a Terraminx, because you can't go all that fast with the Terraminx anyway. I do use F2L though, so it's not all that beginners. I mean, if you don't know how to solve a Megaminx, there are many videos you can use, but it's really very similar to a 3x3. Like when you insert, like say this blue corner, you use the same algorithms that you would for a normal 3x3. Same for this next step up here. I always look for the pink, red, and blue one first. A lot of people have like a pattern in how they do it, and then you just kind of pull it up, go down. It's not all that complicated. I mean, if you've gotten this far in the video, you're pretty dedicated, or you're just watching it for entertainment. Speaking of which, if you've liked this video so far, do consider subscribing. It'll help my channel out, create new videos in the future. Every subscribe is much appreciated. Yeah, there's not a lot to say about this part. I'll probably upload a specific tutorial just for a Megaminx. So I'm not dedicating a bunch of attention to teaching this particular section, but I wanted to do a live solve, so no cuts or no gimmicks, just so that you could see the entire process, because sometimes repetition is the best way of engraving something in your memory. If I just kind of switched frames to a bunch of different cases, and that can sometimes get confusing, especially for a cube this big. Although both styles of tutorials have their place. I actually learned how to solve a Terraminx from a live video, although they did cut a little bit, so it's kind of cheating, but I plan to not do a single cut in this video, so that you can see the process all the way through. And also you can see my average time, which is honestly not the greatest, although I could not find like a world record for Terraminx solves. So you could say that the first person to document one would technically have the world record, although that's not really a world record if you're the first one. Oh. Silly me. I inserted the wrong corner into my F2L pair. Okay. Oh, right, and then you have to do this algorithm to rotate everything around. I always forget to do this part first, and then you rotate all the corners. It's funny how similar the Megaminx is to the Terraminx is to the Megaminx. And there we go. Full solve of the Terraminx. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and comment in the comment section, and I'll see you in future videos. Thank you for watching.